Hey there, and welcome. So, you're using Zoho CRM with MyOperator, which is awesome, but you're about to become a true power user. We're going to spend the next few minutes breaking down the journey of a single phone call, from the very first ring to the final log, so you know exactly what's happening behind the scenes. The easiest way to think about this integration is to picture it as your team's very own automated receptionist. It's like the perfect assistant who's always working, never misses a thing, and writes down every single detail of every call without you ever having to lift a finger. If you can keep that idea in mind, everything else we're about to cover will make perfect sense. So you've already done the hard part, right? You connected the two systems, but the big question that's probably on your mind is, when that phone actually rings, what is really going on? What's the step-by-step logic? Well, that's exactly what we're here to unpack today. Okay, before we actually trace the journey of a call, let's just take a quick second to make sure our foundation is rock solid. We're going to run through a few key things you need to have in place. Think of this as your quick pre-flight checklist. Now, you'll need the right license and plan for sure, but I really want you to pay close attention to that third one, phone numbers in E164 format. It sounds technical, but it just means you've got to include the country code, like +91. Honestly, this is the secret sauce to making sure the system can always find who's calling. All right, with that foundation all set, let's dive into the fun part. We're going to follow an incoming call step by step from the moment it starts ringing all the way to that final record showing up in your CRM. The very first thing that happens, and we're talking about a fraction of a second here, is a lightning-fast digital lookup. MyOperator grabs the caller's number and asks Zoho a really simple question. Hey, do you know this person? And that single action is what kicks off this whole beautiful automated workflow. And based on the answer to that question, the system hits a fork in the road. Its next move completely depends on that lookup. If Zoho says, yep, I know them, the system just logs the call on their existing record. Simple. But if the answer is no, well, that's when it does something really powerful. It creates a brand new lead for you completely automatically. So how does it handle a totally new caller? It's a super clean two-step process. First, it makes the new lead and just uses the phone number as the name so you can spot it right away. And then second, it attaches that incoming call activity right to that fresh new record. No more head scratching over who is that number. It's all taken care of. And here's a little detail that actually makes a huge difference. The system doesn't just create the lead, it also tags it with the status new phone call. This is awesome because it gives your sales team immediate context. They know exactly how that person found you. Okay, let's flip the script. We've talked all about incoming calls, but what about making calls out of the system? Well, the integration makes this incredibly simple. It's a three-part flow. You click, the system connects you, and then, of course, everything gets logged automatically. This click-to-call process is just so slick. You find a lead in Zoho, you click that little phone icon, and here's the clever part. MyOperator actually calls your phone first. As soon as you pick up, it seamlessly connects you to your customer. And when you hang up, the entire outgoing call is logged against that lead's record. Zero manual entry required. So, we know that all these calls are getting logged automatically, which is great. But what information exactly is being captured? Let's decode the data that our little automated receptionist is diligently writing down for every single conversation. And listen, we're not just talking about a simple note that says, a call happened. Nope. Every single interaction pushes a whole set of super valuable data points right into the activity log. This turns your CRM into the ultimate source of truth for all your voice communications. The system obviously grabs the basics, like whether the call was incoming or outgoing, but check out the other details. Duration includes both ringing and talk time, which is really useful. If you have call recording turned on, you get a direct link to the audio. And see that last one, the MyOperator call ID? I want you to remember that one. It's the unique fingerprint for every call, and it is your golden ticket if you ever need to troubleshoot with support. Look, the real world is messy, right? What happens if two different leads have the exact same phone number? Or what about a call that someone misses after just a couple of seconds? Let's dive into these tricky edge cases so you'll know exactly how the system is going to behave. So here are the rules of the road. If you've got duplicate numbers, the system just defaults to the oldest lead, the very first one created. A call that lasts less than 5 seconds, it still gets logged, but it'll have a duration of 0. And remember what we said about country codes? This is exactly why it's so important. Without it, that lookup might just fail. Okay, we've gone through all the theory. Now let's get into action. This is your game plan to make sure everything is humming along perfectly. We'll cover how to confirm your setup is working, how to fix the most common issues yourself, and what to do if you're really stuck and need to escalate. Let's put this thing to the test. Seriously, you can do this right now, and it'll take you less than 60 seconds. This one simple check will give you total confidence that your automated receptionist is on the job and doing exactly what it's supposed to do. Just follow these simple steps. First, grab any phone and call your business number. Then, pop over to Zoho and watch. You should see either an existing contact show up or a brand new lead get created. After that, just hang up the call, refresh that record, and look in the Activities tab. You should see a brand new entry with all the details, the duration, the recording link, and that all-important call ID. Okay, so what happens if your little tests didn't quite go as planned? First off, don't worry. Most issues fall into just a few common buckets. And honestly, the fixes are usually surprisingly simple. Let's take a look at a quick troubleshooting guide. Think of this table as your first line of defense. For instance, if you notice that no call logs are appearing at all, the number one culprit is usually an expired authentication token. But the fix is just one click. You just go to the Zoho Marketplace and reauthorize MyOperator. And just like that, you're back in business. Now, if you've tried everything and you're still stuck, it's time to call for backup. To get the absolute fastest help from the support team, just shoot them an email with these 3 key pieces of information: that MyOperator call ID we talked about, the Zoho CRM lead ID, and a quick screenshot. This gives them everything they need to figure out the issue right away. And there you have it. That's the complete journey of a call. Every step, every scenario, and every single piece of data, all handled for you automatically. You know, at the end of the day, this isn't really about technology. It's about getting your team's time and energy back. So the real question is, with all this time you're about to save from mind-numbing data entry, what will you and your team do to build even better relationships with your customers?